Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here with May 29th. May I Scraplift You? And today the layout I've selected is this one, and it is by Stephanie Olson. She was the one on the list for today, and I had a hard time narrowing down her layouts because there were so many great ones, but this one was a lot of fun and a really good way to use up some scraps. Excuse me. So I am using Maggie Holmes Round Trip. I don't have a lot with this collection because I didn't buy a lot with this collection. It's not my favorite. No offense to anyone who loves this collection and or Maggie Holmes. Just not my color palette that I really enjoy very much, but I'm going to try and get some things used up. I'm going to get some distressing done for around the little strips and get another memory document. So I have my papers, my embellishments, my pictures, and this awesome layout. So let's see how this goes. So I start by taking my scraps and trying to make enough strips. Now you could make as many as you wanted with this. Make them as thick as you want. The same thickness. There's a lot of opportunity for flexibility with this layout. I made mine. I really wasn't measuring. I just kind of cut the papers where I felt like it was being, just calling me to cut them, I guess. And her layout is matted. She's got like a black and white stripe background. So I took the opportunity to get a second full sheet of paper used from this collection. Like I said, no offense, but Maggie Holmes this collection specifically, not my favorite. She deals with a lot of more toned down, not necessarily fall because these are kind of spring, but more lighter, calmer colors and color palettes. And I'm more of a bright, happy, I don't know. But there's also a lot of florals. And I'm not a huge fan of florals. I say that, and I've been using them a lot lately. And I do have like 2 of Paige Evans' collections that are a lot of florals. But just something about this collection, it's not necessarily the papers just aren't screaming out my name. But I knew that I had a lot of traveling coming up, so I thought, I'll get a travel collection. Yeah, anyway. So I only have a couple loosey-goosey papers, but I have some papers left in the project pad, and then I have a whole 6x8 paper pad. So 2 of these sheets that I'm using are from the paper pad, and they're both that white-based paper that have icons and signs and things on them. So I wanted to kind of keep those separated. I do take my distress tool and distress the sides, top and bottom of all these papers so that it gives me that distress look. Now this light blue paper is the top of a paper from the project pad. So it still has a branding strip attached by that perforation and the hole in it. But because it's going to get covered up with the pictures, I don't care. And then I just put down this off-white, white colored paper with little hearts on it. And then I am going to tuck in this last paper. I was thinking that the last 2 papers kind of made it go too far over because, the inking I wanted to put on there, I want to make sure it was showing on both sides like it is on her layout. But I just layer everything up. That way everything's kind of peeking out and sticking out. And you can see all the different layers in different places. And I'm happy with the way that it looks. The big bold florals are not necessarily my typical cup of tea. Henceforth why I'm using this opportunity to get them used up. I feel like this is a great place to kind of tuck that stuff because the layout itself is busy. Mine more so than hers. Her papers are mostly they're not as busy. Even though they're like icon papers, they're not as in your face as a lot of florals are. And at least one of those that I'm using is a big bold floral. So I did start this layout out by trimming it down to 11 3/4 by 11 3/4. The pink paper, I do end up going in and cutting that down, I think, to the full 11.5 inches by 11.5. I'm almost positive. And then the other thing is I stamp it with some Tim Holtz stamps, distress stamps. I love those because I don't have to be really precise and make sure that they're getting like a full press. That way, my kind of crazy brain that doesn't like to, always follow through is fine. So I do have the stamps for this collection, and I am going to pull this out and use a couple of them in a minute. But I just start tucking the flowers, tucking the wordy bits, tucking in, like I put the airplane on here, I put a bus on here, I put a bicycle on here. We did not use any of those things, but we drove ourselves in our own cars. But it was, just the concept of travel and transportation and all that kind of stuff. So I put those on there. And then I did tuck in, or I'm about to, yep, right here, tucked in this little journaling space. I'm not really journaling on these layouts because they're all going in the 2025 book, or they'll go in the beach book, and I will make like a page that has more details on it because I don't really want to journal on every single page that goes into this album. A lot of what we do at the beach is the same thing every year because we go to the same house. This is our 3rd year at this house. That's what I am going to write on that little journaling note. I just wrote 2023 with a dash because I think we're staying there again next year, but I don't know that for sure. So I'm just leaving it for now. And then when we move to a different house, then I'll put an end date. So, this is the house that we stayed in 2023, 24, and 25. And then, maybe next year too. And then I've got pictures of the other houses that we lived in or stayed in as well. I think that this is our 4th house we've been. My son is 16 and we missed 2 years because of the pandemic. So I think that this is year 14 or 15. I'll have to do the math in my head, but whoo, that's a lot. Anyway, I've got some stamps here from the round trip collection, and it's a little like North Star thing, and then also the little cursive "Let's Go," and I just put that in a couple places and put the little North Star up there. And it is a very busy layout, especially with all that pattern paper and icon paper. And I added all those flowers and everything. But I feel like it really works. And I put that paper on the back that has the planes on it. I'm not getting in a plane anytime soon, y'all. It was 2021 last time I was on a plane, and I'm already done documenting that. So I'm using that for any other transportation kind of layouts I can find. So anyway, I would love if you would give me a thumbs up if you like this video and or my layout. Please go check out Stephanie and her Instagram. That is listed below in the description box, as well as all the other lovelies who are creating with me. I Scraplift You this month. I hope y'all have a great day. I hope you get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love, and happy scrapping.